you ever get frustrated and then turns into this downward spiral where you can't seem to get out of it? Well, if that's you, stay tuned because I'm going to tell you 3 ways that you can get out of that and actually move forward in your day, right? We don't want to get stuck there. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Coffee Chat with Danny, where we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, bringing you tips, tools, and inspiration to help you become the empowered lady boss that you were born to be. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Danny. Welcome. Welcome to the page. Welcome to this coffee chat. Replay viewers, welcome. I appreciate you spending your time with us today. So, I wanted to talk really quickly about your Monday motivation. Well, before I do that, I'm going to invite you to grab, I forgot my coffee. Grab your cup of coffee, grab your tea, grab your water, grab your protein shake, whatever it is you're drinking this morning, this afternoon, or this evening. Have a chat with us today. So, it is Monday. It is generally Monday motivation, Monday inspiration, right? It's a great way to start our week thinking positively. Setting some goals for the week, setting some intentions for the week, and evaluating where we are in our business and in our life, right? It's a great day to do that. It's one of my favorite days. I actually just finished doing that for my week. Well, one of the things, though, that can happen to us is we can get really frustrated when things just don't quite go our way, right? If you're anything like me, it happens, right? It happens, and sometimes it can happen and it can just breeze on by, and other days it happens and you can't seem to get out of it. Is that you? Have you had that happen to you? I'm gonna raise my hand because it's definitely happened to me. So let me know in the comments if you ever get frustrated and just for some reason can't seem to get out of it. And I bring this up on Monday Motivation because I feel like even though I always talk and I highly recommend that you set yourself up for success every single week, you absolutely should. I just did. I just finished mine. But things happen. Things don't always go the way we want them to. I can plan the day, I can plan the week, I can plan the month all I want, but things happen, right? Things stop us. And so I'm going to share with you something that happened last week that stopped me. And then I'm going to tell you some tips on how to get through that or how to get over it and really move through it. Because we can't just say, no, I don't want you, and move forward. We have to work through it. That way we know how to use these tools. We know how to get ourselves out of the situation so that we don't repeat it in the future, or we can quickly get out of it in the future. So, it was last week, and it was Wednesday, I believe. Wednesday or Thursday. I can't remember now. See, that's how much I worked through it. Wednesday or Thursday last week, I had it must have been Thursday. So I had a really busy day on Wednesday, and I was really exhausted on Thursday. And so I was getting some work done, and I was powering through it. And then I decided to take a break. Just because I had worked really hard all week, like constantly, and I thought, because I'm in launch mode, right? I'm launching Empowered Lady Bosses. If you haven't heard about Empowered Lady Bosses, there's a link down below, or you can check out a video on this page. I believe it's the pin post. There's things that I have to do in order to get ready and to get set up for it. And so, I've been really, really working a lot, and besides all my other stuff, right? Because I got a lot of other stuff going on. So I wanted to just take a break, and I wanted to just eat something, and I wanted to just kind of like zone out for a bit and watch one of my favorite kind of like chill out shows, which I don't watch very many shows or very much TV at all. It's the only show I actually watch. and that is Home and Family. Home and Family is, it's on the Hallmark Channel. They have tons of DIY stuff, tons of like recipes, and they have guests and stuff on there. But my favorite part is the DIY. I'm a DIYer. I'm a crafter. I love to find new ways of doing things and to create it in my own home. And so I love to just check it out and see what they've got going on and get some inspiration and ideas, right? So that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to spend like 45 minutes, maybe an hour, just grab some food and just watch Home and Family. Well, I get my food, and I actually made avocado toast with a little bit of tomato, seasoned it all up, was like, yes, I'm about to eat this. And I go to sit down, and I'm looking for the remote control to turn on the TV. Well, I can't find the remote control. It's gone. And I'm looking and I'm looking. I'm like looking in the couches. I'm pulling back everything. I'm throwing the pillows off the couch. I'm searching. It's not in the couch. You know, usually that's where you find the remote. Look under the couch. Not there. And I'm like, all right, I look on this cabinet that we have near our couches. I start looking in other places around the room, and I'm like, where is it? Like, how could it just go missing? Like, it's the remote control. We used it yesterday, right? And so then I'm like thinking the 12-year-old took it, right? She took it, she hid it, or she took it upstairs maybe, just didn't realize it. Or she took it into the kitchen, maybe she was holding it, or the bathroom. So I start going and looking at all these other places, right? The bathroom, kitchen, can't find it anywhere. At this point, my stress level was like, it just rose. I was stressed. I was frustrated. I could not see anything. It was just like, where is the freaking remote? Like, I was not happy. I just wanted my time. Just wanted to relax, enjoy my avocado toast, and watch Home and Family. That's all I wanted to do. Can you relate to that? You just want to do this one thing and you can't. You get stuck because of something, right? Well, as I continued to search, my frustration rose even more. So my love happened to be home for lunch at the time. And, you know, he was busy working on something, and I'm like, I can't find the remote. I can't find the remote, and I'm freaking out. I'm really have lost just like everything. I know this seems really small. It's a remote control, right? It's just a TV show, right? And the whole time he's like, it's okay, you know, like we'll find the remote, no worries. And I'm like, no, where's the remote? Like, no, it's not having it. And so it just kept going. And then so he started looking. He couldn't find it. I checked the 12-year-old's room. I checked our room. I checked my desk. I checked, and we're like, when did we last see it? You know, we're going through that whole process. But each and every time, I'm just getting more and more frustrated. Well, as he's looking, he comes across something that I have been missing for 6 months. It actually happens to be my Bella Beat, my Leaf by Bella Beat. It's my activity tracker. So it's just like your Fitbits or, you know, any of those contraptions. But it's pretty. And I loved it when I wore it all the time. One day I lost it while I was sleeping because it was pinned to, it was just clipped to my clothes, and I lost it. I haven't been able to find it for 6 months, and he found it. And he's like, I saw it, and I was like, hey, that's my Bella Beat. And that still didn't change anything. I was just like, oh, cool. I picked it up, whatever. So I'm still going around like searching the house, raised stress level up here, and I'm so done. So I finally was like, F this, because I'm mad. F this. And I just went and ate my toast like mad, right? Like, didn't even get to enjoy my avocado toast because I was so frustrated, right? So then I'm like, I'm just like, I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything. My mind is just so frustrated about the stupid remote. And so I was like, all right. So I pulled out my Bella Beat, because I'm like, okay, let me distract myself, right? Let me try to use some of the tools that I know and just try to move myself out of this, right? So I'm like, okay, I start focusing my attention on my belly beat. I'm trying to sync it with my phone, and I'm trying to like remember, where did I leave my bracelet? Did I throw that away? Because there's this little pretty bracelet that comes with it. Because you can pin it to your clothes, or there's all kinds of ways that you can wear it, like as a necklace. And so I'm like thinking, okay, where's that stuff at? I'm trying to sync it. It's not syncing. And again, I try it. It's not syncing. I turn my phone off. I restart it. Sometimes that works. Still, no. All right, let me try this again. I tried it for probably, I want to say a good 20, 30 minutes. And every single time I tried, what do you think happened? I got even more frustrated. So I went from an extremely high, frustrated, stress level because of the remote. Now I'm even more frustrated because the belly beat. So then I'm like, okay, well, it looks like I need to change the battery. I'm like, okay, so I have batteries on hand to change, so not a problem. But the belly beat has a special little tool to take off the back so you can change out the battery. Well, I go to the place that I think I placed the box with the little tool. Not there. So then I start searching for a tool. Can't find it. I probably spent the next hour searching for this tool. I wasn't doing anything else. I didn't care about anything else but finding this tool. I was focused. I had lost sight of everything else that I needed to do that day, everything else that was going on, and was focused on finding this tool. Well, along the way, I found some other things. I found some shoes that my love had been missing since we got back from our Caribbean trip. I found a wallet that had $27 in it. I found a purse that I had lost or misplaced or whatever. I found all these things. And I still wasn't happy. I finally found the tool. I'm talking a good hour and a half later from my initial start to find the remote. Hour and a half later, I find my belly beat tool. And I find my bracelet. And all is right in the world. Has that ever happened to you? Am I the only one that this happens to? Right? Where I was so frustrated, I couldn't see anything else in front of me. I finally found what I was looking for. And it became peaceful again. Well, sometimes we don't find. The reason why I tell you this is sometimes we don't find that tool, right? Sometimes we don't find that thing that we're looking for, or what we want to happen doesn't happen, right? And I could have easily spent my entire day going down into a continued downward spiral, right? I started with the remote control. I then moved into the belly beat. And then it would have been something else had I not found the belly beat, or had I not changed my thinking. Just because I found the belly beat tool doesn't mean that all was going to be right in the world. I still haven't found the remote, and it's been like 4 or 5 days. Right? I realized wasn't easy. I got somewhere, actually my Lions Club meeting at the end of the day, and I, was mentally preparing for that activity for that evening. And that's when I realized why I was getting so frustrated, why all of this nonsense was happening. And so I realized it was something deeper, right, than just the remote control. It wasn't about the remote control. It wasn't about the belly beat. It wasn't about the tool. It wasn't about anything. It was about something deeper inside of me that was frustrated, that hadn't expressed it vocally, or, hadn't expressed it in any way, whether that's written, whether that's, telling somebody, typing it, whatever. I had not expressed this frustration, and it was just building and building and building inside of me until it had to get out. And it ended up getting out, manifesting, if you want to call it, into this remote control and this whole situation. So, I'm going to give you some tips on what I do generally, and which is one of the things that I tried to do with moving into finding, my belly beat, is number one, I didn't do this, I should have, I didn't. Number one is to meditate. I did this later on in the day, which is where I discovered why I was frustrated. But meditation can be in any forms, right? It doesn't have to be sit with your legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed, and, silence, right? It doesn't have to be that way. There's tons of different ways to meditate. And what I would recommend is whatever way works for you, you want to do that. But what I did, or what I would recommend you doing, is meditating on what is going on. So doing some calming breaths, right? That inhale, exhale, that slow focus on the breath, right? That begins like a meditation that gets you kind of calm and centered. And then focus on what it is that's upsetting you. Ask yourself, why am I so upset? What is the real problem? What is frustrating me? What haven't I expressed? Because generally what happens is there's something that's not expressed, and so the body reacts. That's a general idea of what can happen. So you want to find out, and what you're doing is you're asking yourself. Inside of you, you're just not consciously aware of it. So allow your subconscious to bring it to your attention to say, Danny, this is what it is. Your thoughts, your mind, your subconscious will tell you. And that's exactly what I did. I allowed my subconscious to open up and say, hey, you need to work on this. You need to think about this. You need to deal with this, whatever that is, right? So number one, I would say, is to find some time. It doesn't have to be long. It could be 5 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it takes for you to discover what that is. But sit in that moment. Allow yourself to come to your attention, what it is. Listen, be open to it. What it is that's bothering you, what's frustrating you, and then deal with it, whatever that is. Sometimes it's just acknowledging it. Sometimes it's an action that you have to do, right? Or sometimes it's something like, okay, I didn't like the way I did that, or I didn't like that. I'm going to change it, right? So you change the way you deal with that later. But it needs to be expressed. So allow yourself to hear it, allow yourself to understand it, to recognize, and then make a decision on how you want to proceed. But the key is to not allow yourself to stay stuck, to get that pity, that self-pity that you want, right? That we all want. We all want to just, it's okay, right? All right, number two is to change your vibration. Whatever that is, in whatever way you can, change your vibration. Meditation definitely can help you change your vibration, but there's other ways to do that. Maybe it's music, right? I easily could have turned on some music that makes me happy, or that makes me feel good, or that I like to listen to, that puts me in that moment, that relaxes me, maybe, right? Maybe it's like some older, like instrumental music, classical music. That's the word I was looking for. Maybe it's some reggae music. I love reggae music. Maybe it's some, more spiritual music. Maybe it's just like chill out music. Whatever it is that works for you. Maybe it's like sometimes 90s, like, hits work for me, right? Because it just takes me into that like fun times. I don't know. Maybe it's a book. Maybe there's a book that you love to read or you enjoy reading. Maybe it's affirmations, right? Sometimes affirmations can pull us out of things. So maybe you need to listen to some affirmations, or put on or say affirmations to yourself. Maybe it's you need to call that friend who you just need to like, hey, I need to get this out, right? Maybe you have that friend that you can do that with, or partner. Or maybe it's journaling. I'm not a big journaler, but I understand the importance behind doing that. And so, that was one of the things I thought as I was meditating. I was like, maybe I should have taken that time to just journal and just get it out. And that would have expressed the same thing as meditation would have done. And number three is to change your environment. So as I was so frustrated about the remote, I could have easily went outside, walked around the block, and came back. Changing your environment, the environment that's frustrating you, can sometimes be the key, can sometimes just take you out from being in that perspective, right? Maybe it's taking a walk down to the coffee shop or going to a coffee shop that's local, changing your environment, right? Maybe it's going to the park or going to the beach or going to the lake, somewhere that you enjoy just being and take you out of that vibration. So one of the things that I realized is I knew that evening as I was driving, it's a long drive and there's a lot of traffic for me. I live in LA. And as I was, going through the traffic, I realized though I was going to nature. I was going to a park. It was concerts in the park, which is live music out at the park, which is one of my favorite things to do. So I started to mentally start to see all that and was like, oh, okay. So those are my 3 recommendations for you. Number 1, meditate, find out what it is that's upsetting you. Number 2, change your vibration in some way. Do something that gets you up, gets you excited, and can shift that mood for you. And number 3, change your environment, whether that's going out and doing some shopping, going to a coffee shop, taking a walk around the block, or going out into nature. All right, everyone, that is my tip for you today. If you are frustrated about something and you feel like you just are going downhill, try one of these things out and see how it works. I would love to hear what your thoughts are or how you are able to get yourself out of frustration, right? And your action item for today is to try using or recognizing this, that you get into this state sometimes. It may not happen, in this week or in the coming weeks, but when it does, recognize it, recognize where you're going with it, and try to pull yourself out of it. It's not always easy, as you saw. I got even more frustrated with Bella Beat, but as the day went on, and now I can reflect back on it and say, wow, I need to make sure that I'm expressing things so that this doesn't happen in the future. So that is it for us today. Again, I'd like to invite you to come join us in the Empowered Lady Boss community. That's the new membership group that is launching July 3rd. So make sure you reserve your seat, get it saved, because we're only taking a limited amount of ladies into the community because it's going to be focused for 6 months. We are focusing in on building you and your business, giving you the tools and skills to help you create the life you love. Come join a group of empowered women. All right, everyone, have a great rest of your day. We'll be back on Wednesday for another great talk. Until then, be you and be amazing. Bye.